we've installed the side panels. We put all our hardware on the locking side of the support rods, and Jeff's also modified the hinges so they'll bolt on here. Now we have to take those off to install the hood. I'm going to show you why. And we've also went ahead and cut all the grill out, and Jeff's done a really nice job cleaning that up, and it's ready to go. So we're going to set that right there. Now if you want to come over here, the next procedure is installing the hood brackets. Now of course this would be your hinge side, okay? And this blank one is where you're going to install your latches. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And basically this is the tools you need to do that with. You know, take for granted you might need a screwdriver or a piece of sandpaper or something simple. But this is what it's going to take right here to install these two latches. We're going to use our air saw to mount this, and we also need to get another drill bit because we're going to have to tap some more holes and for screws so we can screw this on here. So we'll need a 1/4 inch drill bit for that, and 7/32. And you will need a carpenter's pencil and a magic marker. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our grill shell and we're going to test fit it in between our holes. It should fit in there tight. You'll have to pry the side panels apart to get it in. But that's okay. That's what you want. Okay, and let it pop in there. Kind of basically just let it sit down on the factory lip there. And then what you want to do is take your blank hood, lift it up easy, and just set it down on the car lightly, and slide it up, and set it in there. Now if you notice, it does hang over a slight bit on the edge, but that's okay. We aren't worried about that. What we're looking at, so we set the hood on there, just to test fit it, and we check out our gaps, make sure everything's looking good. But the main gap we want to look at is back here. And what we're looking at is to make sure our body lines are lining up and the gap here looks good. We really don't care about the gap up here because we're going to have to modify our grill shell to lower it down. If you notice, when I pull the grill shell out, the hood will drop. So right here is the factory lip that's supposed to sit up here. We're going to have to trim that lip down a little bit so the grill will slide down. This will actually be the last piece that we install. So I'm going to pop that out of there, just like that. I'm going to set it to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hood where I want it, where it sits in the center, get my line lined up. I'm going to take my 2-inch tape, and I'm going to go ahead and tape the hood down. I'm going to get everything lined up with the body line. I'm going to go ahead and tape that down right there. That's going to hold that in place for me. If you notice, when I taped the back of it down, it lined up really nice right there. We don't care about this side yet. We're not even working on that side. So I'm going to tape that down just to hold it. And then I'm also going to put a piece of tape over here so it'll stay in place while I make my marks where I need to be made. And like I said, we don't care about that. Now, if you remember in a previous video, we've already cut out the notches for our hinges. This is the piece that's going to go in there. Okay? This is our hinge piece. And just like the side panels, the opening has got to be facing out. Just like that. That's how it's going to hinge. Because when you get the hinges on there, the hood's going to open like this. So if you do it where it faces in, you're going the wrong way. So we're going to set that down right there. And if Jeff can move over here, because we're going to have to look up inside here the best way possible. I like using a carpenter pencil versus a magic marker due to the fact that the magic marker has a thicker tip on it. If you look inside there, you can see the notches where we're going to be cutting. So what we got to do is we got to mark our notches out on our hood where our hinges go. And you can see me doing that right here with my pencil. And then I got to reach up inside there, and this is kind of tricky when the engine is in the car with the air cleaner and everything, but that's why we put the tape on there so it'll hold it in place. And we're going to try to get this done here nice and easy. And that's why I have my magic marker here, because even though the pencil makes a nicer line, if you watch close, the magic marker is a light touch type tool. So I'm going to reach up inside here, just like this. I'm going to make my marks where I need to on the end. As we did the side panels, I'm going to cut those out for my... So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do basically the same thing that I did over here. If you look right here, I went ahead and cut those out. I just went in about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. So I got my lines drawn out. And once again, this is just a rough in opening. We're going to clean all this up, and it's all going to look pretty later. Then I'm going to take my fingers so. I'm going to come in approximately 1/4 inch, 3/8. I'm going to make a line just like that. Now, to ensure that we're in the basic area of where we're supposed to be, because we know that this lines up. We know that lines up with our hinges. Okay? So to ensure that we're in the basic area that we need to be, I'm going to go ahead and install this. I'm going to set this in there. I'm not going to install it, I'm going to set it in there. And I'm just going to look at it to make sure, if you want to look right up here, Jeff, I want to make sure that the boxes that I made, the marks I made, are in line with the hinges. So we're looking pretty good, so we know that that's the space. Now as I got this in my hand, I've also found out building the Street Beast car that when this is on here, okay, it doesn't look like it now, but it interferes with the cowling of the car. So what I do is I'm going to take my magic marker, I'm going to cut this off of here, just like that, on my chop saw. And what that's going to do, it's going to keep it away from the cowling, and it's not going to interfere with hitting or binding. That's just from experience of building. Now, the piece that we cut off, we want to keep that, because we're going to use that. We don't want to throw nothing away until the job is done. Okay? So keep that over here in your little spare parts. We're going to clean that edge off because we don't want to cut our hands.